respectfully. And we got a lot of people that support the channel that live on the East Coast. And usually when I go live, they're going to sleep. And I'm gonna say this again, when I go live, they're going to sleep. So I figure, you know what? I will take time out of my busy day and go live for everybody on the East Coast that supports me. And I'm gonna say this again. I realize I'm gonna take time out of my busy day and I'm gonna make content for everybody on the East Coast that supports me. And I wanna say thanks for your support. And I wanna talk about a topic today, and I wanna talk about giving up. Now, somebody shook my hand and they said, don't give up. And I just feel like giving up is a choice. And that's what people have to understand. Like, everything is a choice, you feel me? Like, and I want to talk about that because when it's all said and done, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing this for? And when it comes to health, when it comes to fitness, are you doing it for you? Or are you doing it for validation? And I feel like if you're doing it for you, listen, you can never give up. And I'm gonna say this again, if you are doing it for you, you can never give up because you're literally doing it for you. Like, when I do diamond push-ups, I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing diamond push-ups for the community. I'm not doing diamond push-ups for people down the street. I'm not doing diamond push-ups for people in different states. I'm doing diamond push-ups for me. And in return of me helping me, I can inspire people to help themselves. You gotta help yourself. When it's all said and done, if God sends you some guardian angels, that's what's up. You know, that's really what's up. God drop miracles every day. You feel me? But I feel like faith without works is dead. You got to want to do for you. And I'm going to say this again. You got to want to do for you. And my main thing is this. I don't care how I feel. I'm not going to give up this frame. I'm not going to give up my energy. And I want to talk about that. When it comes to just life in general, a lot of you guys, you're going to want to get into some type of situationship. Let me tell you guys something. Stay strong. Stay solid. It's going to feel natural when you feel pressure. You feel me? Pressure bust pipes. It's going to feel natural. You might want to bust. Screw that. Keep your energy. Power up. You feel me? The body replenishes itself. You know, if you made a mistake last night, get back up again. It doesn't matter. If you make a mistake tomorrow and you watch this, you feel me? Get back up again. The body will replenish itself. Don't feel down. Don't hang your head. But you got to understand that everything is a choice. Having energy is a choice. Powering up is a choice. Go Super Saiyan is a choice. Going Ultra is a choice. These are all choices. You know? And once you realize these are all choices, you also realize that victimhood is a choice. Protesting is a choice. Complaining that your job did you dirty is a choice. When it's all said and done, you got to understand, you got to prepare for the good and you also got to prepare for the worst. That's life. You got to be prepared for both. And once you prepare for both, I think that's the only way you can have peace. And I'm going to say this again, like, I live a beautiful life. Very beautiful. But when it's all said and done, I'm prepared. What happens if, you know, what happens if YouTube shut down? What happens if Twitch shut down? What happens if Kick shut down? Just what happens, you know? So we're preparing. You know, as much as I love YouTube, as much as I'm a YouTuber, the reality is I don't own YouTube. So if I don't own YouTube and just say YouTube sells to some foreign company in Albania and you have to live in Albania only to do YouTube, it is what it is. I'm prepared and I'm preparing. You know, I feel like we prepare for the good and we also prepare for what may call not so good. I think preparation is the key to life. And if you're prepared and ready for whatever, life is beautiful. I'm gonna say this again, life is beautiful because you're prepared for whatever. Like, when it comes to fitness, I told myself that if anything ever happened on YouTube, I was going to take fitness serious because I realized that's an element nobody could stop. So I thought about this 4 months ago, and what happened, everything just happened organically. Like, I hurt my leg, I couldn't walk, I was inside of the house and I did not want to just sit, not being able to walk inside of a house. So, I wanted to be productive and I didn't want sympathy. And I decided to record 14 videos back to back to back. It was like 3 days. It was just straight 14 every hour to the hour. I'm going. You feel me? I'm going. And what happened is something happened and it really opened up my eyes to I'm now prepared for the worst on YouTube, and it is what it is. It doesn't matter. Like right now we're counting at 7 channels. Even when I had the news a couple months ago, I was still monetized on one. So when it's all said and done, as a man, I feel like having multiple streams of income is another way of saying you're preparing for the worst. Like, I tell you guys a 9 to 5 save lives, but you guys cannot just trust in a 9 to 5. And I'm gonna say this again, I tell you guys a 9 to 5 save lives, but you just can't trust in a 9 to 5. Like, you can't. If you put your life in a 9 to 5 and they suspend you for 3 weeks without pay, you're gonna get evicted. You think your HR cares if you get evicted? No. You think human resources, that's what they're called, human resources, but they don't act human. You think they care if you have to hold up a sign and start breakdancing for money? No. So when it's all said and done, you got to understand every step of the way, you need multiple streams of income. People that talk about protesting, are they going to talk about multiple streams of income? Listen, once again, you guys have to try this. This is my favorite in the world. Every live, 9 out of 10 is sponsored by this. And I'm gonna say this again, 9 out of 10, every live, it's sponsored by this. This is my favorite. Get a look at this. I love this. This is my favorite. I forgot. I usually start off the live with this, but it doesn't matter. Once you try this, it never fails. It never fails. That's when you know you're gonna have a good day, when you eat one of those. But I want to get back into the comment of giving up. That's not a choice. That's not an option. When something's not a choice or something that's not an option, I'm here to tell you everybody's guaranteed to win. Everybody in life could be guaranteed a win. Everybody. All you gotta do is tell yourself, giving up is not an option. Listen, some people new to my channel, and I respectfully, I invite you to my channel. But to everybody that's been watching my content for day one, they know that they've been trying to cancel me since year one. They've been trying to cancel me since I had 8,000 subscribers. When it's all said and done, I thank God that I always lived an introverted lifestyle and I never really cared about the opinions of others. Because if not, I think I would have been done at 8K. It was an all-out cancel culture. More than 25 people turned on me. And I'm still going. Moral of the story, I'm still going. Give up. You think I'm gonna let trolls in other cities make me give up? Let me tell you guys something. Another thing. I just want to say that keep going until you have your way. And I'm gonna say this again, literally keep going until you have your way. I feel like panicking, it's no way you can make it if you panic. I feel like first step or first sign that you're gonna give up is if you start panicking. Panicking is not gonna help anything. Whatever situation you're going to, you have to remain solid. You can't panic. If you panic, 9 out of 10, you're going down and you're not coming back because you panic. So I will say, stay away from panicking in any situation. Every situation, be calm, do the best that you can do, But understand that it's only so much you can do. You have 24 hours in a day. When it's all said and done, you can't go 30 in a 24. You can't, listen, when it's all said and done, you can't go 50 hours in a 24-hour period. So there's only so much that you could do. You have to rest your body. I stayed up 2 days straight before, 48 hours before, working on a project. It can be done, but it's not healthy. And I'm gonna say this again, it can be done, but it's not healthy. So when it's all said and done, you gotta rest your body. I think I personally, I think you at least need, I'm not a doctor, but I think you at least need 5 hours of sleep, at least 5 hours a minimum, seven hours the max. And I feel like, man, get to it. If you got 24 hours in a day, and you take away 6. You see what I'm saying? Like you already, I mean, like, come on, it's only so much you could do. Then you got to get prepared. Then you got to shower. Then you got to clean yourself up. That's going to take another hour. So when you drop down, you got to look at it like really all you really have is about 12 to 15. And 9 out of 10, the way things used to be was most people spent 12 to 15 working overtime. If you wake up early, you could get that rest in, but when you always waking, it can be tough. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to lie with you. I'm not going to play with you. When you get close to the finish line, everything becomes a breeze. You're getting closer. Like, the end of the road is in walking distance. When you get to that level, your body's naturally going to heal. All the pain is going to fly away. Everything's going to fly away. So to everybody right now feeling mental pain, mental toughness, is going to go away. Everything is going to go away. Just get close. Everything will go away. The pain will go away. Everything will go away. Just get closer to the finish line, and everything will go away. You just got to make it. You just got to make it. All the pain will go away. Two months ago, I couldn't walk. I could not walk 2 months ago. But it was mental. I wanted to walk. And the fact that I wanted to walk, I'm walking. It's real. You gotta tell yourself you're gonna win. As opposed to saying, I'm gonna panic. Oh no, absolutely not. We don't listen. As much as I made over 1,000 videos today, I just want to talk about panicking. Because all the situations that I made it out of in life, I made it because I didn't panic. And I just want to say, if you're going through a situation that's causing you to panic, you got to reverse. You got to reverse, get out of that emotion, and throw that emotion away. If you panic, you're going to break down mentally. 9 out of 10, most situations that we encounter, we're one step away from a solution. We're one step away from literally, listen, you have to look at, this is so good. This is so good, please. Why does life have to be so beautiful? Why does life have to be so beautiful? Latte times. I'm usually on a run. But some days I have my latte days. It's nothing like a latte day. I'm gonna say this again. It's nothing like a latte day. Just sit back, thank God for the day. Now, with that being said, I feel like if you panic, you're not gonna win. Because you're panicking, you're breaking down. I feel like when it's fourth quarter, you got to be ready to shoot. And I'm gonna say this again: in the fourth quarter, everybody got to be ready to shoot. Everybody got to be ready to shoot. If you're not ready to shoot, you're not meant for the fourth quarter. If you're not ready to go live, you're not ready for the fourth quarter. You feel me? That's why it is what it is. You feel me? Even though I'm not into sports, I don't care for sports. I do think that sometimes I use sports as an analogy for life. And for many that play sports, everybody know the fourth quarter, that's what counts the most. That's when the game about to end. And I feel like if you're in a tight situation, you got to view a tight situation like the fourth quarter. Or you got to treat the situation like it's bases loaded bottom of the ninth, like I always say, you feel me? Because that's when it counts the most. See, the thing people got to understand is if you 18 and you ball till you 28 and then something happens, nobody going to care that you was balling for 10 years. And people need to tell you that. Shout out to everybody that's 18. Real talk. If you 25 and you've been balling for 10 years and something happened, nobody's going to care that you 35 and you was balling for 10 years. And in reality, balling for a decade, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty impressive. You feel me? You was balling for a decade, but that's how life goes, and nobody want to talk about life. Like whatever you do, you gotta do it till like casket drop. See me, literally, all praises to God for my blessings, but I literally been, you feel me, living luxurious since the doctor cut the umbilical cord. I was born in the suite. Life been sweet. I was born in the suite. When it's all said and done, my tough times are just financial jams. And I want to talk about financial jams. You got to look at a financial jam like you're caught up in traffic, but you're only one exit away. Every financial jam you get into, tell yourself you're just one exit away, or you're two exits away. If I'm in a traffic jam and there's only two exits away, I'm relaxed and I'm calm because I'm only two exits away. 9 out of 10, a lot of you guys that are dealing with depression, you're dealing with all kind of nonsense. You guys are just in a financial jam, not realizing that you could create content and get monetized, and in 2 months, you could be off that exit of a financial jam. Life is beautiful. A lot of your problems, you're only 2 solutions away. Even if 1 solution away, you just can't panic. Most people, they panic because they feel like, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? Screw that. Screw that. Life happens. But you can't live in fear. And I'm gonna say this again. Life happens, but you can't live in fear. You just gotta enjoy every second, communicate with the people, that got your best interests. And if not, just may God be with everybody. But you gotta understand that life is beautiful. I feel like people who give up are people that don't see the beauty in life. If you don't see the beauty in life, it's easy to give up. It's easy to throw in the towel. It's easy to say, man, forget this, because they don't see the beauty. But for people that see the beauty in life, it's impossible for them to give up. If they really standing on business, and notice I say if they really standing on business when it comes to inspiration, if they really standing on business when it comes to motivation, you got to understand, like, every day is a new day. It's a new sunset. We go through 4 seasons. Things change. Leaves fall. The leaves grow. Life is beautiful every step of the way. And if you don't see the beauty in life, ask God, Lord, please help me to see the beauty in life, because life is beautiful. It is beautiful. Every step of the way, every second, this thing is beautiful. A lot of problems that we have are problems that we created. I'm going to say this again, a lot of bills, a lot of things that we take on, these are things that we have done to ourselves. But it's nobody's problem. You feel me? If I'm paying $1,500 for a car note, when it's all said and done, it's not the next man's problem that I'm paying $1,500 for a car note. If I'm paying $4,000, you feel me, for a car note, it's not the next man's problem that I'm paying $4,000 for a car note. When it's all said and done, life is beautiful. Understand that a lot of problems, a lot of stress is man-made. And I'm going to say this again, stress is man-made. A lot of stress, a lot of things that we go through, we did this to ourselves. The problem at our 9 to 5, we filled out the application. We did the interview. The stress that we are going through is the stress that we took our time and we created. We created that stress. We created that problem. That's what people got to understand. It's just like, Life is beautiful. If you want to say enough is enough of working a 9 to 5, you could create content, over a period of time. I'm to the point now with my content where I could literally live overseas. Thank God. Thank the Lord. And I'm going to say this again. With 5.5 years of hard work, with 5.5 years of dedication, I can now live overseas. But when it's all said and done, when I had a 9 to 5, I was always thinking, one day I'm going to leave. One day. I never worked a 9 to 5 with the mindset that I'm going to retire at a job. I always worked a 9 to 5 in how much could I pull from my 401k? How much could I invest in me? And I was always thankful, but I took everything from a 9 to 5 and invested back in me. That's it. 401k, I don't need that. Give it to me now. Everything, give it to me now. And I will build when I need to build on my own, and I will boss up. Now I'm to the point I'm bossed up. And not only am I bossed up on 2 channels, you feel me? We about to get all 7 channels monetized. You feel me? And I'm gonna say this again, we about to get all 7 channels monetized. We about to run it up. We not playing, you feel me? Playtime is over, you feel me? When it's all said and done, high school, college, that was like the last time to play. You feel me? A lot of you guys, congratulations, you're doing your thing in your 20s. Congratulations, you're doing your thing in your 30s. But I'm just here to say to everybody out there that's in your 40s or going into your 40s, playtime is over. If you're going to run it up, or run away from it. And I'm going to say this again. If you're going to run it up, or run away from it. Playtime is over. What's stopping you from investing in yourself? What's stopping you from living, you feel me, your wildest dreams? Like, to me, Phoenix, Arizona, that's my wildest dreams. I've been living here for 3 years. I never thought that I'll be living in a desert, but I'm loving it. I'm living my wildest dreams. So the question is, what's stopping you from living your wildest dreams? I don't know about you all, but I'm living my wildest dreams. And I'm having the time of my life, literally. No pun intended. Every day, I'm having the time of my life because I'm living my wildest dreams. You guys, why dream about it when you can actually live it? And I'm going to say this again. Why dream about a life that you can actually live? Waking up every day in Phoenix is a dream. And I think I'll probably live here for 80 more years because I'm feeling good about life. I think I got 80 more years left. Matter of fact, I probably got another 100. So I think I'll probably be here for another 100. I'm not leaving. Wolf of Wall Street voice, I'm not leaving. I'm not giving up on Phoenix. I feel like giving up is a thing. I never gave up on the South. North Carolina, never gave up on you. I'll probably return one day. Alabama, I still got to visit. Never gave up on you. New Orleans, you already know I visited. Baton Rouge, I never gave up on you. Still got to visit one day. Lafayette, never gave up on you. Still got to visit one day. Giving up is a thing of the mind. You can never give up. You could always spend a bin on something that you started. You could always pursue something that you want to do. Everything is in the mind. Giving up is in the mind. If I give up, I'm pretty much telling myself I gave up. So then my actions will follow my thoughts. You got to understand, a lot of things, before they become actions, they become thoughts. A lot of people are not going on ultra. Like, I'm on ultra. And I'm going to say this again. I'm on ultra. I just got the latte, just got the candy bar. Oh, man. You got to understand. You got to really take your time on these, because these things ain't no joke. I still got another segment of this. We're going to say that. We're going to say that. It's real, but shout out to FLS. Somebody said, win or go home. And the question is, and I know what everybody in the FLS is going to say. Shout out to that comment. The question is, we're going to win. Like, we going to win. That's simple. Shout out to my man Z in the building. My man said win. Because when I play this live back, you guys are not going to see the comments, but my man said win or game 7. Win or go home. Life is just that simple. That's why I call my channel Mr. Keep It Simple. Win or go home. Easy. We're going to win. We're going to win. Once again, thank you for that comment. Win or go home. We're going to win. It's simple. We're not going home. We're not going home. Shout out to home. Shout out to Maryland. Shout out to Aberdeen, Maryland. Shout out to Edgewood, Maryland. But we're not going home. Absolutely not. Simplemente no puedo hacerlo. Simplemente no puedo hacerlo. I'm not going home. Simply, I can't do it. If I go home, that's because I want to go home. I'm not going home because life hit a buzzer beater on me. No, I'm gonna hit a buzzer beater on life. And I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna go home if I want to go home. And that's because I hit a buzzer beater on life, not because life hit a buzzer beater on me. When it's all said and done, go hard or go home. Life is simple. Like, what is protesting going to do? What is holding up a sign going to do? When it's all said and done, you got to do for you. Ain't nobody going to do for you but you. You think you got a group? You think you got a community? You think you got people that really got your back? Because you guys look alike. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. And it's a lot of crazy people out here. You feel me? It's so many crazy people out here to the point now they talk about mental health. Use that 905 to invest in yourself. Let me tell you something. People got to understand, like, having a job is a blessing. Having a job is a blessing. And a lot of people got to understand, most people complain when things go bad, but forget when things go bad. You always got to remember a 9 to 5. You got to remember your interview. The same feeling that you was feeling when you got an interview, you got to keep that feeling when you leave the company. You know, a 9 to 5 is a blessing because you have to be picked. You got to be handpicked. You got to go through an interview process. So if you went through an interview process, 1, 2, 3 interviews, how many interviews you did, and they decided we're going to hire you, that's a blessing. They gave you an opportunity. They breaking bread with you. See, when people get fired from a 9 to 5 or when they get framed a lot upon, they got a bad attitude about a 9 to 5. Me, I'm a little different. You feel me? I look at a 9 to 5 like somebody wanted you in their house for the moment, but you got to understand it's for the moment. ATM, literally. Everything rhymes back to currency. ATM, like how you take out a withdrawal, it's the same. ATM. You got a job at the moment. A lot of people, they're salty about life in general, so they talk bad about a job. But no, I feel like a job is a blessing because somebody gave you an interview, somebody hired you, they gave you an opportunity. So that's love. They didn't have to. They could have told you we went with another candidate. So if you had a job and things didn't go right or end well, I feel like still you gotta thank God for that opportunity. And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize. Life is really about opportunities. Opportunities come every day. You know, like I thank God for social media. I thank God for ecosystem. But when it's all said and done, I feel like I don't need opportunities. And that's the beauty of having an ecosystem. But just say we didn't have social media, and just say we had to go out, we had a network, just say we had to go out and meet people. I do feel that, you know, every day I will go out and meet somebody new. But with social media, with the ecosystem, with dropping content, I feel like the day of network it's really over. Like, I feel like I don't need to network with anybody, you know, and it's crazy. I feel like I don't need to rub shoulders with anybody, you know, and to me, I feel like this is the best time to be alive because back in the day, if you really wanted to make some serious resources, you literally had to be a part of a serious organization. You literally had to be a part of a serious group of men, like that literally wore suspenders. Like you had to really be on that, yeah. But in the year 2025, you literally you can record wherever you want to record, whatever time you want to clock in, you could clock in when it's all said and done, as long as you got Wi-Fi, as long as you got access, you feel me? Because today's a new day and age, you know? You got to thank God for the opportunity that you could really run it up without being around people. And that's why I feel like it's really, like, I feel like a lot of people that give up, they just don't see the beauty in this generation. Like this generation, you don't need an army. You don't need a group. People in the ecosystem, they're not required to be here. If they want to come in, they could come in. If they want to leave, we don't hold people hostage at the FLS. Like, we're not saying you gotta sign a life membership at the FLS. If you break your life membership, like, it's a problem. It's no, we don't. I don't do that. So with that being said, today's a beautiful day and age. You could literally wake up, if you have a dog, play with your dog, make money online, live in Vietnam, live in Thailand. When it's all said and done, use that 9 to 5 to invest in your great escape. I feel like every entrepreneur, they look at, a job as a great escape. They look at every job as a great escape. They're only doing it for the time being. And most jobs, they understand, most jobs, they have a high turnover rate. You don't think places like Walmart, no, they have a high turnover rate? Of course they do. You don't think places like Home Depot have a high turnover rate? Of course they do. You don't think places like the airport have a high turnover rate? Of course they do. You don't think Spirit Airlines have a high turnover rate? Of course they do. You don't think Frontier on the front have a high turnover rate? Of course they do. Of course they do. Come on, this is not a secret. Everybody knows. So a lot of these places, they got a high turnover rate. And you just gotta look at a job like, how long are you gonna be there? I really do think an exit strategy, an exit plan is really great. I do believe that. With an exit strategy, with an exit plan, just say they decide to let you go before. There's no love lost. You was leaving anyway. It wasn't going to be a 20-year thing. It wasn't going to be a 30-year thing. It wasn't going to be a 40-year thing. So if a job decided to let you go, that's what's up. No hard feelings, you feel me? I took all your money, I invested in equipment, and I invested in streaming equipment, like no love lost. And I think that's really how you walk away from a 9-to-5. You walk away with the mindset that I'm going to leave. And when I leave, I'm going to be prepared to be able to stand on my own. Now I can stand on my own. That's a great feeling. You feel me? And it doesn't matter your age. If you want to get there, you can get there. And I'm going to say this again. If you want to get there, you can get there. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we got to talk about straight facts because you got to think about it. Nobody in life is a victim, A lot of people like to refer to the past, but the past is over. We're talking about 2025. You have choices. You have opportunities. Like, if you want change, you can get change, I would say, before the year is over. You can have change within a year, That's the beauty of living in the year 2025. If you want change, you can get change before the year is over. You can get change before the year is up. If you was walking in January, you can have a car before December. If you had a financial jam in January, you could get out that financial jam before December. That's the beauty of life. Things change. Things evolve. Technology evolves. People evolve. It's all about executing. I like to kill two birds with one stone because I told myself, I was like, I'm about to get a latte, but then I was like, you know what? The weather's nice. So I told myself I'm also going to go live while sipping a latte. But, when it's all said and done, I feel like the beauty of this day and age is you could literally monetize daily routines. And I'm going to say this again. The beauty of this generation in the year 2025 is you can monetize daily routines. You can't beat that. And I'm going to say this again. You can't beat that. But listen, thank you guys for checking in. FLS, you already know.